Hello and welcome. My name is Alex and this is TechFlow. We get so many laptops through our office here at TechFlow, but this one, the Honor MagicBook 14, I think is going to be worth a lot of people checking out. Now, like I mentioned, we get a load of laptops through the door here at TechFlow that we get to test and check out. But this one I've been using a little bit more than I thought I would. That good, in fact, that I actually want to do a review of it, and in my notes, I wrote down over the last few weeks of using this thing, this is the perfect laptop for most people. Let's get into the review. So first off, let's set the price. £549 British here in the UK. Those links will be right below that like button. And as usual, we'll start the review off with looks. First off, I really like the off-center Honor logo on this laptop, and I also like the sizing of the logo. Sometimes with laptops, the logos can be a little bit intrusive and sometimes just ruin the entire look. Minimalistic, I like it. That logo actually has a blue hint to it, and so does this sort of blue chamfered edge around the edge of the laptop. It makes it look premium. Yeah, this thing looks premium for £549. There you go, I said it. As well as that, the actual laptop itself is built well. There's not much flex here in its 14-inch panel. And the bezels around the display are only 4.8mm thick, which gives it an 84% screen to body ratio, which again, for £549, you're looking at all screen, it just brings the laptop into the future. I really think that one area going forward with laptops that people could improve on is that screen to body ratio. I really think if you have a small bezel, it makes for a much more immersive experience. As for the full laptop itself, it's only 15.9mm thick and it weighs just under 13.4 kilograms. So it's really easy just to throw in a bag or just to hold. This thing is lightweight and feels nice and premium. Now, all of my complaints with this machine, and obviously I'm going to give you them, are really minor and they're going to seem like I'm nitpicking. The first one is that because this thing is so thin and light, you can't lift the screen up with one hand. You have to hold the bottom of the laptop down to, I know it's stupid. Now, the keyboard is one of my favorite features of this laptop. With the laptop being so thin and light and the price that it is, I wasn't expecting to have a keyboard experience as good as this. Now, I really like this exact key switch. Why do you like it? Well, there's numerous reasons really. The first reason is that if you're in a meeting or a lecture or just trying to take notes, the keyboard's pretty quiet, which is nice. All the keys have a lovely amount of travel. It's not too much and it's not too little, and it's not like a flimsy sort of ultrabook typing experience. This is a proper laptop keyboard. I was really impressed with it. And then same goes with the trackpad here really as well. It's a decent sized trackpad for the actual full laptop size. I've seen smaller trackpads on 15-inch laptops. Couple that with the fact that it's pretty accurate and it's got multi-touch, we're onto a winner. Now, one of the main reasons as to why the bezels are so thin on this laptop is because you may have noticed there's no camera in the forehead of this laptop. It's actually hidden away, recessed if you like, hidden as one of the keys in the keyboard. Now, I have mixed feelings about this, but my feelings about it are more pro than negative. Like, I love the fact that I have thin bezels, and I also love the fact that this camera can be hidden away when it's not being used. Great for security. I've always been one to put tape over my cameras on laptops anyway, so having it hide away is just great. The only downside of having it down here is the angle really isn't that flattering, so just make sure you trim your nose hairs first because you'll look like this. And looking like this probably isn't the best, but I mean, it gets the job done. And as you guys just heard, those microphones, they sound pretty good. They'll do for your conferencing whilst you're at home and all of those Zoom calls. There's two microphones on the front of this laptop. Now, we need to talk about I/O on this particular machine. You've got USB-C, you've got USB 3, and then you've also got full-sized HDMI. Flipping the machine around, you've then got another USB 3.0 port and a 3.5mm headphone jack. Now you may have already noticed that this laptop clearly charges via USB-C. You've got a 60-watt charger included in the box, and the charger is really small actually, so great for throwing in your bag again. But don't expect to plug a USB-C hub into here that's going to charge and also act as a hub at the same time, because that won't work. This port is either for charging or transfer, no simultaneous. Now, the other thing that I found really useful on this laptop, and it actually works a heck of a lot better than other laptops that I've tested with this feature, and that is that it has Windows Hello fingerprint recognition. And it works really well. I don't think it has even failed me once yet. And then you couple that with the fact that this has got SSDs inside of it, more on that later, it boots up really fast. I'm talking under 10 seconds, it's read your fingerprint and you are on your Windows 10 desktop from it being completely turned off. 10 seconds. But that perfectly cameos us over from the outside of the laptop to the inside. So in here you'll find a Ryzen 5 3500U mobile chip, Vega 8 graphics, you've got 8 GB of RAM in here, and it actually comes in a 256 gig or 512 SSD storage for all your files. But there's one caveat here, and that is that for some reason this startup disk of Windows is like on its own 80 GB partition, and then you have more storage on a different drive. Now, Honor was saying with the battery in here, you're going to get around 10 hours. I was getting around 7 to 8 in my testing, but that was with doing a little bit of photo editing in Photoshop and a little bit of gaming on Rocket League, but that was mainly me testing the battery by watching back films and videos to see how long the screen would stay on and the laptop would stay powered, around 7 to 8 hours. Now last we've got the display, the thing you're going to be actually looking at, and I really like this new 14-inch form factor. I think 13 is just a little bit too small, and maybe 15 a little bit too big for most people, but 14 smack bang in the middle with these small bezels, I like it. The screen on this laptop is going to be absolutely fine for anything word processing, a little bit of light media consumption, taking notes, web browsing, online shopping, workflow, a little bit of light gaming here and there. But if you do take this laptop outside or into direct sunlight, you're going to struggle to see it because you're only reaching about 200 nits of peak brightness with the display. But as long as you're inside, everything is crystal clear. Look at that. It's also not the most color accurate panel either, so if you were going to buy this laptop to do some video or photo editing, I would probably look elsewhere. One thing I was really impressed with though on this laptop was the downward firing speakers on it. Usually laptop speakers, and I've played with higher end laptops, generally are really bad. It's something that manufacturers seem to skimp on, but with this they are downward firing, so if you put it on a wooden table like it is now, they sound pretty good. I was impressed to say the least. So what does all of this mean then, Alex? Well, in a nutshell, I think this laptop is, for the price, brilliant. If you needed a laptop to do all of your web browsing and online shopping on, you needed a laptop to do all of your word processing and all of your work on Excel, spreadsheets, the like, PDF documents. If you're a uni student taking notes, you'll love how quick this thing boots up, how light it is, how quiet and nice the keyboard is to type on. And if you're that and then also a little bit of a light gamer too, you could definitely hook this thing up to a 1080p TV and an Xbox controller to it and play some light titles. Some light gaming can be done on this laptop. I think it'd be great for a university student, for example. But now I can hear those PC enthusiasts in the comments saying, Alex, yeah, that's all well and good, but I've heard that the Ryzen processors and GPUs run really hot. Is that the case with this? And well, honestly, they've had a new fan design, an S-shaped fan design put in here. It took about 20 minutes of Rocket League gaming for me to then audibly hear the fans, but I have never heard the fans on this laptop whilst I've been watching 4K content on YouTube or taking notes or listening to Spotify or whilst I was in Photoshop and Lightroom editing photos. The fans never once ramped up, only when I was playing Rocket League for about 20 minutes. One other little thing this laptop has is Honor MagicLink, which is kind of like a cool thing. If you have an Honor phone, you can tap your Honor phone against it and quickly share files, share the screen. It works really well, and it's kind of cool to see it all happen. But there you have it. For £549, I think you have a laptop that's built well, that's going to last. It has a good GPU and CPU for everyday people, and you can even do a little bit of like graphic intensive or gaming work on it. It has a nice bezel-less screen, it has a webcam, it has a nice keyboard. That's about it. Yeah, this thing left me impressed. So let me know what you think in the comments, and we'll see you in the next one. Adios.